it's Christina Benjamin, and I'm back with another chapter video from the Geneva Project Truth. Today I'm going to be reading chapter 26. Enjoy! We met at our usual lunch table and reconfirmed our plan to meet Asia in the forest tonight for help with our plan to get sent to the locker and learn more about the legend of Lux. We also argued about whether Niv could come with us. I already intended to bring him to flood work and the forest, thinking he needed the fresh air, but Nova thought it would be wise to leave him behind. We settled on bringing him to flood work to see how he did. Then we ended up just gushing about how cute he was and what adorable things he did when we checked on him throughout the day. We all saved our scraps from lunch for him, and I carefully smuggled them back to our room. I packed the scraps and Niv in my burlap shoulder bag that I carried my flood work gear in. Today I went back to my usual spot, working alongside Remy on the rubble pile. When it was safe, I opened my bag to see how Niv was doing. I had to stifle a laugh because when I peered inside, he lay belly up on a pile of rags and my gloves, happy as a pig in slop. He obviously found the scraps of food I wrapped in a napkin and helped himself to them. He was covered in crumbs and was busy trying to collect them from his fluffy chin hair. He looked like a little old man grooming his beard as he made soft grunting sounds. He paused for a moment, blinking at me with his big brown eyes when he noticed me looking at him, but then he went back to work. "Well, he seems happy," I said to Remy with a smile. "What's he doing in there? I can hear him grunting," he asked. "He's snuffling his way into the scraps we saved him and ate them all. Now he's busy cleaning the crumbs out of his beard." This made us both laugh. It felt so good to laugh with Remy again that I couldn't help myself from blurting out my feelings to him. "Remy, I'm so excited that you know about all of this now. I'm really sorry that I didn't tell you from the beginning. It was just so crazy and happening so fast, and I didn't know what to make of it myself. I wanted to tell you. I even tried to tell you, but you were so mad at me, and I didn't want you to think I was any crazier than you already did after Mr. Graven's lesson, and—" "It's okay, 65. I get it now," he interrupted. "I'm really glad we're friends again, too, and I'm sorry for acting like a jerk," he said, lowering his eyes. "Let's just start over from here. Best friends again?" "Best friends," he said, smiling at me. We worked side by side silently for a little longer, occasionally checking on Niv and enjoying his antics. Finally, I got up the courage to ask Remy about last night. "So, about last night, how did you find us, Remy?" "I followed you. I wanted to make sure you were okay. Like I said, you've been acting strange, so I'd lay awake trying to figure out what was going on, and then I caught a lucky break when I saw Journey get up. At first I thought he was just going to the John's room, but then I saw him go over to your window and climb out. I sat up and looked around and realized you were gone too, so I got up as quickly as I could and went out the window the same way I saw Journey do. I had a really hard time keeping up with him. I just saw you all walk into the forest together and was about to give up when I tried following you because it was too dark to see. But then there was sudden light ahead, and I just followed it, hoping it was you guys. Why didn't you call out to us to wait for you or something?" I asked. "I don't know. I was afraid you'd be mad at me for following you and send me back. I wanted to find out what you were up to. But I still don't get how we didn't see or hear you. Journey and I are really good at that kind of stuff. It's one of the powers we have." Remy just shrugged and said, "I don't know, 65. I just kept as quiet as I could, and I was willing myself to be invisible, you know?" I stopped polishing the stone I was working on for a moment. Something in his words gave me the strange feeling of déjà vu. It was as if I was trying to recall a dream. I had a foggy memory that was just jogged by something Remy said. Willing himself to be invisible? Could it be? Could Remy have a power too? A cold chill washed over me as I made the connection. It was Asia who shared the history of the Truids and their powers with us last night. Invisibility was one of them. That was it. I was tingling with excitement. "Remy," I started, trying to sound as casual as I could. "What do you mean when you say willing yourself to be invisible?" "Just like wishing for it. Praying I'd stay hidden, out of sight long enough to find out what you were up to," he replied. "Could you do it now?" I asked. "What?" he asked, stopping to look up at me. "Why would I need to do it here?" he said, sounding worried. "Well, you wouldn't need to, but I was just wanting to try something," I said. Okay, he said hesitantly. I crawled closer to him and glanced around to make sure no one was watching us. When I was sure we weren't on anyone's radar, I grabbed his hand. Can you just try to recreate how you were feeling last night when you were trying to be invisible? I want to see if I can feel it, I said. Remy looked at me suspiciously at first, then he closed his eyes, and I could feel him wash over me. I felt his fear, his insecurity, and his desperation to disappear. His emotions were so strong and real, and he was able to tap into them so effortlessly that they must be kept at the surface and often used. This thought made my heart heavy. I could imagine that the hardships and teasings he's endured at the center had often made him wish he could just disappear. And then right before me, he vanished. It wasn't a slow withdrawal. 1 second I was looking at him, and the next I was looking through the space where he had been. Although I couldn't see him, I could still feel him. I could still feel the warmth of his hand beneath mine, and feel his presence, and I could even hear his breathing. But even with being able to feel him, I was so caught off guard that I let go of his hands to stifle my gasp. As soon as I did, it broke his concentration and he reappeared. He was just staring at me with those big brown eyes, swallowing me up with his questioning look. Remy, I hissed in a whisper. Do you know what you just did? I did what you asked me to. You said to feel like I did last night when I was trying to disappear. What's wrong? You really don't know. No, but you're kind of freaking me out. You disappeared, Remy. For real. Not just figuratively or in your mind. You disappeared right before my eyes. What? Come on, 65. You're just messing with me now. Remy, I swear it. I swear it on Niv. With that, he sat up straighter, and I could tell he was just starting to take me seriously. Watch me. I'm going to try to do it. I'm a parallel. He just stared at me blankly. It means once I connect to someone's power, I can do it too. It sometimes takes some practice, but I'm going to try it, okay? Tell me if it works. He only nodded at me with his look of concern growing. I closed my eyes just as he had and tapped back into his feelings. I felt them wash over me and could actually feel my body matter departing, becoming lighter. I opened my eyes, expecting to see straight through where my hands were. But they were still there. All of me was still there. It made no sense. I could feel myself evaporating. But as I looked down at my body, I was clearly still there. I looked over at Remy and was about to apologize and say maybe I needed some more practice. But his look of pure terror stopped me dead. Remy, what's wrong? Oh my God, he whispered. What? What is it? And with that, I felt myself returning, the heaviness settling back in, and Remy suddenly reached out to touch my hands. You did it, he whispered. Wait, you mean I disappeared? Completely. That's incredible. Remy, you're one of us. You just shared your power with me. It was so insane. I felt like it was working, but I could still see myself. Well, I couldn't see you. Is that really what I did? I guess. Like I said, I didn't see you when you just did it. But when I was apparently doing it, I could still see myself. Remy, that's magnificent. I bet that's why you never knew you had this power. Nothing changes for you. It's just others that can't see you. We sat there staring at each other silently. I picked up a stone and handed it to him quietly, so it looked like we were working, because I noticed a grift coming in our direction. Remy idly rubbed at it with his ragged cloth, while I picked quietly through the pile, sorting the valuables into baskets. The grift walked on by without a word, and I was about to pick up our conversation when I jumped at the touch of something at my leg. I turned to see Niv nuzzling my calf. Niv, what are you doing out of the bag? Remy looked over at us. Well, do you suppose it's okay? I asked. He looks so happy scampering around out here, I said as he scurried past me, chasing a frightened cicada bug. The bug wiggled its way into the crevice of the rubble pile and out of Niv's sight, which left him anxiously snuffing and snorting in every cranny he could stick his slender snout into. There's always birds and other rodents around out here. I don't think anyone would notice from time to time, but we need to be careful that no one notices him with us too much. The rest of the afternoon was actually enjoyable, as Remy and I continued to work, talking quietly about the possibilities of our powers, while we watched Niv play on the rubble pile. It was almost too fun to even consider it work. The sun was setting, casting an orange glow and long, cool shadows. There was even a dry breeze that often wafted scents of sweet barley coming from the fields. Soon it was time to pack up Niv and head back to the center with the rest of our year. That was chapter 26. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in next week where we'll have a guest reading chapter 27. And as always, you can go to Amazon and download your own ebook copy so you can read along with us. Thanks!